Well, you don't need us to tell you that we had a mild winter on Vancouver Island this year, and with so few days of freezing temperatures, it has been a tough year for maple syrup farmers. It may surprise you to know that there is a small but successful maple sugar industry on the island, but weather and timing is everything when it comes to tapping into that sweet liquid gold. ANE's Mid-Island Bureau Chief Jonathan Bartlett has the story from Nanaimo. Jonathan.
Hudson, the weather has not ruined the syrup. I actually tasted some of it this year's batch, and it's still very good. But timing is everything in tapping maple trees, and so is sugar content.
You want to drill at a slight upward slant.
This is only for the benefit of our cameras. Whereas back east, March is the season for tapping trees. On the west coast, this is too late in the year.
You're supposed to tap the trees here between November and February, depending on the weather, because you need a few days of cold weather where it goes below freezing to a few days of warmer weather, preferably with sunshine.
Catherine Backlund grew up on this Ladysmith property. Her family produces small batches of maple syrup from the big leaf maples on their 70 acres property. This winter, there was lots of sunshine, but not a lot of cold days.
We didn't get a lot of the freezing temperatures that we were hoping to, and so the trees didn't give us as much syrup.
Of course, maple syrup doesn't simply drip from trees. It has to be boiled down, and therein lies this year's challenge. The sugar content was low, so it had to be boiled down more. The result?
Some of it gets to be like molasses.
Louis Loppe is a member of a loose-knit maple farmers group called the Sapsuckers. He says it's all about timing.
The more you learn about it, the more complicated it gets, trying to figure out when the trees are going to flow. And when they're not.
And this year's weather made things very complicated.
Things started out great, but the weather just kept getting warmer and warmer, and the trees stopped flowing. When we finally got a cold snap, the trees were already in bud, and the flavor of the sap changes.
The proof is in the syrup, and look how dark it is. Now there's more of the non-sugar elements in the syrup. Loppe doesn't think the maple syrup industry is in jeopardy due to climate change, at least here on Vancouver Island. It just means timing will be a challenge.
It's hard to say if this is going to be a problem or maybe we'll just be doing it earlier.
Catherine Backlund says there's nothing wrong with her family's syrup, despite the fact the stronger the taste, the less is graded.
The more flavorful syrup is the lowest grade, but here we like a lot of flavor.
And it turns out maple syrup is good for you. A recent study found 13 new compounds linked with human health, antioxidants that fight diseases, including cancers. So Hudson, keep pouring maple syrup on your waffles, and that darker West Coast syrup is actually tastier.
Sweet. All right, Jonathan, thank you.
Thank you.